This is the William Relations Financing and Marketing presentation. To start with, I figure I'm going to need 5 laptop computers, 2 laser printers, and a fax machine, and that should run me about $6,300. The 3 financial options I looked into are the home equity loan, a credit union loan, and a credit card loan. With the home equity loan, one of the nicest things about it is that you can use the money for whatever you need. In this case, it would be starting a business. Because there's usually a fixed rate involved when using a home equity loan, the payments are predictable, so it's easy to make a budget to plan around. Another good thing with the home equity loan is that up to $100,000 of it is tax deductible. A downside to a home equity loan is the closing costs and other fees. So while you do save on interest, you will probably pay more than if you just took out a line of credit. Another thing to consider when using the home equity loan is the endless cycle of debt. And like it says there, you borrow the money, you pay it off, and then borrow it again. The next thing I looked at was credit unions. The nice advantage for the credit unions is that you have access to a smaller amount of loans, as banks are more prone to give larger loans, so a small business loan isn't really appealing to big banks. Another benefit to the credit union is that most cases loans are approved by a person on a case-by-case basis, as opposed to most major banks who do it through a committee for approving people for their loans. Another advantage of having a credit union loan is that the interest rates are designed more for members as opposed to a board of directors and shareholders, so you get a better value. One of the drawbacks from using a credit union are the fact that there just aren't very many branches, so it would be really difficult for somebody to have a person-to-person discussion. Also, credit unions don't have the same technological capabilities that most big banks do, which could limit your ability to do mobile banking, but probably still offer some sort of online banking. Next up is business credit cards. Now, the advantage to this is there's usually a lot less documentation to provide at first, so you don't have to prove references or credit or anything like that. Another advantage is the revolving line of credit. Now, just because you reached your limit, you can still keep paying on it again, as opposed to with a bank, you have to pay off everything before you can get loaned more money. And also, with a business credit card, you have access to actual cash, rather than, hoping for the best in the future. Sometimes you need to pay people, and not everybody likes to take credit cards. One of the downsides to the business credit card is that while it is unsecure, you're most oftentimes going to have to sign some sort of personal agreement that if your business goes bankrupt, then the bank can go after your personal assets. And another downside to a business credit card is just like every other credit card. If you don't pay off the balance or you're late, you can get hit with a really, really hefty fine, sometimes up to 30%. So after taking all of that information together, I say for me the best choice would be the credit union, just because of the fast approval rate, the access to smaller loans, and the lower interest rates. The first marketing channel that I'm going to look into is going to be radio marketing, and just look at the statistics, how many millions of people are reached every week on the radio. My strategy for using the radio advertisements is actually really simple. It's just knowing my audience. You don't advertise a country concert on a rock station, so just finding the right radio and network to get my message out, to advertise. My next marketing channel will be social media. And why? It's simple. We spend more and more time each day on our social media websites, so that in itself is a great way to get exposure.
Created using Powtoon.